Welcome to Bloomers in the Garden. I'm Len Schroeder.
And I'm Julio Zamora.
Hey, and on today's show, our first 3 segments will be dedicated to planning and installing your own landscape.
We're going to talk about dimensions, sun, soil, and plants.
And then we're going to talk about Julio's presentation to the South Jersey Horticultural Society.
In our final segment, listener Dave texted us about smelling coffee while working outside. We'll tell you, we'll let you know what we found.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back in the garden after this. Bloomers in the Garden is an hour-long gardening radio program that airs to over 6 million residents throughout the Delaware Valley. From Allentown to Wilmington, from the Main Line to the Jersey Shore, Bloomers in the Garden can be heard twice each Saturday morning, first at 8 a.m. on 860 WWDB and again at 9 on 610 a.m. ESPN Radio. Each episode of Bloomers in the Garden will be broadcast on Bloomers' Facebook page and available as a podcast on bloomersinthegarden.com. Bloomers in the Garden is adding sponsors. Share your message to our large, diverse group of listeners. Commercials and segment sponsorships are available at incredibly affordable prices. Let Bloomers in the Garden get your message out to one of the largest and most diverse populations in the country. If you're interested in joining us in the garden, please visit bloomersinthegarden.com or email len@bloomers.com. Does your garden have planting insurance? It can now with Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma. It's the ultimate starter plant food. The secret is a special blend of natural organic plant food, beneficial microbes, and mycorrhizal fungi. The result? Plants grow faster, roots grow deeper, flowers and vegetables flourish. Best of all, every Espoma product is safe for people, pets, and the planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you. Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
Welcome back, folks. And your landscape needs a facelift, doesn't it, huh? Yes, I think so.
It's that time.
It's that time of year.
Fall is for planting.
It is.
So Julio, we always talk about your daylilies.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah, yeah.
I love them.
But they've been there a long time. Like,
Quite
so
a while.
somebody that has had a landscape that's been there, in Washington Township a lot, like we were at Builder's Paradise, so there's so many builder's packages that got put in,
Right.
but they were cheap and they were fast growing, so they need to be ripped out.
Yeah, overgrown.
Overgrown, yeah.
Yeah.
Even some of the older homes, right?
Sure.
Right. Every weekend, you must get it all
Every
the
day.
time.
Every day we get that.
Every day.
Oh, this is overgrown.
So your first step is trying to decide, all right, what's what's going to stay, what's going to go.
Right.
Oof. And it's hard.
That's hard. Oh, yeah.
Because some of those plants still look good.
They do.
But I have this problem myself.
Right.
I have delayed, I think, my redoing my landscape.
Oh, yeah?
I ripped everything out
Okay.
about 2 years ago,
Right.
except
Oh, no.
for some big boxwood.
How come?
Because they were really nice, and I knew I couldn't find boxwood that big.
Okay.
But now I have to decide, and I have decided,
Right.
I don't think I can cut them back enough to go and make them big enough for me, or small enough rather, for me to be able to match up to the other plants I can get. Otherwise, I've got to go with gigantic plants, and quite frankly, it becomes real expensive.
That's right.
So you got to determine. So anybody out there that's thinking about doing a landscape, the first thing you got to do is take a good hard look and determine if what you're going to leave.
Right.
And are there things there that you can cut back and keep in place, or are you just going to rip everything out?
Right.
And most of the time, it's easier if you just start with a blank canvas.
That's right. I think
take
so.
everything out. That's what you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'm doing that same thing too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I ripped everything out of one side of my yard.
Right.
I'm starting all over.
And you ripped everything out.
Everything. I didn't leave one thing, even though I did like some things.
Yeah. Well, you can always put the same thing back.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
sometimes
right.
when we're designing a landscape for someone, they'll say, "Hey, I just ripped all those out," but you want to say, "It's like, listen, those boxwoods, you got 30 years out of them.
That's right.
And you can rip them out in another 30 years.
Yeah, sure.
You'll be dead anyway."
30 years? Oh, wow.
So, I don't say that.
Okay.
Julio says that. But decide. Okay, cut them back really hard. Are they going to live, and are you going to be able to find plants that measure and match up to them?
That's right.
Or just tear them out. And Julio and I pretty much both agree. You're better off not trying to save those few plants.
Right.
And if you want to dig them and try to
somewhere
save
else.
them,
Put it somewhere else.
and put it someplace else, or something, you can try it.
Try it.
Yeah, like I had, so they're supposed to be dwarf rhododendrons, the Yaku Prince variety, and I had them in front of my house. They grew 4 feet, and I didn't think they were supposed to grow 4 feet because this is when they were new.
Right.
And I ripped 4 of those out.
Okay.
And when I did my tear out that I was talking about,
Sure.
and I replanted them, and I had 2 out of the 4 live.
Oh.
And I just planted them in a little wood setting.
Wood
And I can't
section.
say I really took much care of them. They just,
Right.
I kind of dug a big hole and said, "You're on your own."
You're on your Take
So-
care of yourself, right?
But they lived.
Oh,
so,
that's good.
So it was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
So next thing, number 2 is what? What do we have to do?
Number 2, don't only measure. Okay.
Okay.
So you got to, I always think that you should go into the nursery first and look at the plants.
No.
Oh.
You got to measure. You can't go looking at plants unless you know what your measurements
That's
are.
right. But if you, most places are small, and I like big. I like big.
No. You have to know your measurements. You have to know your measurements.
You have to know your measurements.
You got to know, again, like how high are your windows? Because that's kind of your cutoff, or that is determined as like, all right, when they get this high, I have to start trimming, and then I have to be, a shear. You have to shear them and keep them to that size. Again, it's your bed width. Like I went out to a customer's house just recently, and they have a beautiful landscape that they want torn out and redone.
Right.
And the problem is they only have a width of 4 foot. And they want it to be more dynamic. And, I told them, I said, your landscape's pretty nice. I don't know if I'd tear it out because a lot of the same things are going to go right back in.
Right.
They had some issues on the side of their house that needed to be taken care of. But long story short, you have to know your measurements because that all determines what plants you pick. And also, it's not just the length and the width of the area.
Yeah.
Right. You've got to remember heights of windows, between the windows,
right.
all of that thing.
Can't be blocking.
And remember, the plants, if you don't have a walkway that's stopping your bed shape, so many houses have, they have the driveway, and then the driveway goes to the walkway to the front door, so you're kind of stuck with that width. Yeah. But if you don't, and especially like, for instance, on the other side of that, there's always, plenty of room you can do.
Plenty.
The plants determine the bed shape. You can't fit, a round peg in a square hole.
It doesn't work.
No, you have to allow the plants to grow, and they're going to determine how that bed is shaped. It's going to have some soft S's in it, and that those plants will determine it. And over time, it will get bigger. You'll start out, it's like, it's only 6 feet wide. Well, guess what? It'll probably be about 12 before that landscape is ready to be replaced again.
That's right.
Got to give your plants some room. Give them room. Give them room.
That's the thing. You got to visualize how big it's going to get.
Yep.
Not how when you buy it so tiny.
That's right.
And all of a sudden you go, woo!
I get yelled at all the time from when I'm laying out ads for bloomers. They said, you got to leave some white space. You got to leave some white space. And it's the same thing applies. Yeah. If you don't leave some room between those plants, you're going to be ripping them out again in no time. So make sure you leave some room there. The plants, if they're mulched properly, they're gonna stand out. It's not going to look awkward. It may look different compared to what you've just ripped out, because what you just ripped out, there was no elbow room between plants, and they're growing into one another, and that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for the plant to grow pretty much the lifetime of the house if
Right.
you can.
That's right. That's beautiful.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your measurements
Measurements.
of length,
Right. Width.
width,
Right.
okay, preferred width.
Right.
Now, understanding that the plants that you choose will make that bed width final size,
Uh-huh.
and also the heights
Height,
of window.
right.
In between windows,
In between, yeah.
like so, I've got also another landscape that I just did. Some friends of ours that are in Elmer, New Jersey.
Oh, there you
Hello
go.
out there. They have an odd window where they have on the side of their house. They have one window,
One window. Uh-oh.
and it's 3 foot from the back corner of the house.
Wow.
So
That's odd.
it's very odd.
Yeah.
So you've got that whole expanse, but you have to know that. So between that window and the corner of the house, it's only about 3 foot.
That's it.
But there's another 35 foot of open space, no windows.
No window.
But,
Whoa.
hey, I don't build the house; we build the landscapes. And then, of course, it's exposure, sun exposure.
Right. So, oh, yeah. Very important.
Now, listen, shade. You have shade when there are trees or something that is preventing sunlight from getting to that landscape.
Right.
Okay?
Right. That's shade.
That is shade. A lot of people will come in and they'll say, well, I've got a southern exposure. And I'm sorry, but I roll my eyes sometimes.
Right.
I was like, all right,
Uh-huh.
but it's sunny the rest of the time.
Sunny.
You get reflected sun.
Right.
Shade.
Shade is
If you have a northern exposure, you could say part sun, but you do get
some
enough sun to grow the majority of landscape plants.
Right.
You don't really have many
They don't have much
limitations.
shade. Right.
The only thing that will happen is that maybe they'll be a little smaller, they'll be a little lighter green, but they will grow.
Still
They will
grow. Yes, that's
and,
good.
And part sun, to me, part sun and part
Part
shade
shade
are
are the same
basically
thing?
the same thing.
There you go. That's good to know.
Same choice, same plant choices.
Right.
And then again, it's full sun is full sun, and everybody knows like this baking full hot sun
all day.
Well, great. Guess what? You can grow anything. There are some plants that may burn though, so you got
That's
to keep
right.
that in mind.
Yeah, got to keep in mind.
Keep that in mind.
Got to
But
keep water.
listen, it's easy to do. Just come armed with that kind of information, and that's where you need to start. Before you go out for the plants, Julio, you're jumping the gun. Jumping the gun.
I love plants.
Yeah. All right. Next segment coming up, we're going to talk about plants. All right. We'll be right back after this. Do you want a picture-perfect lawn this year? It all starts with using the best grass seed available. Bonide makes that happen with DuraTurf grass seed. Bonide is using the best varieties of grass seed available today for their DuraTurf grass seed blends. When you start using Bonide's high traffic and heat and drought grass seed blend, you will have a deep-rooting lawn that requires less water. Therefore, you will save money in water bills and also resist the harsh summer heat and sun. Bonide's DuraTurf grass seed mixes are disease and insect resistant and will grow in poor soil. You get all these benefits along with having a naturally durable dark green lawn. When planting grass seed, always use Bonide's lawn seed starter fertilizer to get your grass off to a healthy start to ensure that picture-perfect lawn. Bonide products are available and family-made at these fine stores. Lehigh Valley Home and Garden, Allentown, PA. The Rhodes Garden, North Wales, PA. Mastardi's Nursery, Newtown Square, PA.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center for the best selection of summer flowering perennials anywhere. Coneflowers in colors as vast as the rainbow. Reblooming daylilies in all the best varieties. Giant hardy hibiscus with flowers that measure 12 inches across. Make sure to visit our water garden department. Fish plants and water treatments that will keep your pond beautiful and crystal clear. Thinking about a new filter, UV, or water feature? Bloomers has them all in stock. Need to replace that sterilizer bulb? Bloomers carries a wide selection to match your model UV. Fall decorations are starting to roll in. Wind chimes, flags, and more. Bloomers has been selected the best of the best garden center by South Jersey Magazine. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township today. Just 30 minutes from Philadelphia. Find more information at bloomers.com. That's bloomers.com.
Hey, I jumped the gun.
You did?
I said we're going to talk about plants. We're plant guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're plant guys. We can't help that. But first thing, you got to talk about grade.
Great, yeah.
All right, so we know our measurements. But you got to look and see, all right, are some of those measurements tailing off on one side where you need to build up, like maybe a retaining wall?
Right.
I'll tell you what, I am getting tired of the concrete hardscaping.
Yeah.
There is nothing prettier than natural stacked stone.
Yeah, I love it.
And you can do a dry stack retaining wall.
Can.
Yeah, you know, I know how to do that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh.
I did a 5-foot dry stack retaining wall. It was big.
Oh, was it?
It was big. It was at a
5
friend's
foot
house.
high.
5 foot high. Friend's
Wow.
house in Maryland.
No kidding.
Yeah, no mortar.
No nothing?
No,
You just
nothing.
stacked it?
Yeah,
Wow.
just wall stacked and
Wow.
the knack to doing that is not hard.
Oh, no?
The trick is just keeping the top of the course. So you lay your first course, and you make sure the very top of that course is level. So you can't have any stone sticking up
Going up or down.
because that next course goes on top.
On top.
And then same rule applies. Like, say you can put a really thick stone in there, say something that's like 5 inches.
Right.
And then you have to match it with other smaller, thinner stones to make sure that it's level on that next course.
Right.
Going
So
through.
using tools to get this thing level with your leveler? Or,
Yeah, level.
Okay.
A level. I mean, you could use a string line,
String.
but a level is good enough.
It's good enough.
Yeah, because you just keep on going
Keep it
through.
going through.
And you're going to eyeball it as well.
Sure.
It all depends. I mean, again, we're from South Jersey, so everything's flat in South
Right.
Jersey. But
right.
but in Pennsylvania,
Oh.
you could have great grades and
boy.
different grades. And actually, in your neighborhood, I've seen
Okay.
some wild grades where
Oh, yeah?
the builders are are building their houses up on high grades,
They are.
and that where they need a retaining wall around it to hold everything together.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's keeping that course level.
Sure.
And then when you come to the next course, you split the seams. You never go and like have the same seam running through,
All the
because
way.
that's when the wall falls over.
Oh, boy.
And you
Okay.
have to consider about when it freezes,
Right.
that it's going to heave a little bit. But as long as you're splitting those seams, you're locking it in place.
Good.
You're locking it in place. It's not that hard. I
that hard.
suggest try it. It's
Try it?
not like
Okay.
you've got to put mortar in between it or
Yeah.
anything else. But the only other thing that I would say is that you want to ever so slightly pitch it towards the weight of the soil. So you want to pitch it back just a little
back
bit.
further.
And I can't say, how much degrees, how many inches. It's something like you just definitely don't want it leaning forward, because it's going to topple over.
Topple
and
over.
You're going to have to
Yeah.
replace it.
Right.
It's really easy, and you know what? It looks fantastic.
Does it? You like it?
It looks fantastic.
Nice.
Because there are so many different colors of stone, and you can get it.
yeah.
It just adds another dimension to the landscape.
It does.
You can use hardscaping materials
Right.
that are basically pieces of concrete.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mixed in with other stuff.
All right. Send your complaints to Julio Zamora, care of Bloomers in the Garden.
We like natural.
I do like natural.
Yeah.
I do like natural. I'm actually, liking regular, real, true brick
Right.
as pavers
Brick-
rather
yeah,
than
brick is great.
rather than real concrete
Yeah.
pavers. But I don't know.
It's good.
That's another.
Okay.
That's another show.
Another show.
That's another
There you
show.
go.
But try a retaining wall,
Yes.
even if it's low, because what you can do is you can raise your elevation in the back section, put a small retaining wall, like maybe a foot.
Foot? Yeah, it's all right.
Yep, and then in front of that, you can put some ground covers and
Right.
some of them like blue rug junipers,
Sure.
or even things like mountain pinks or
Pinks,
sedum or something that it just
Trails
gives you
over.
another dimension. Gives you
Yeah.
another
Beautiful.
dimension, and it brings out that color.
Sure.
It gives you some age to the house
Oh,
where it looks a
yes.
little classic,
Little-
especially on all
yeah.
those colonials that were built over in Washington Township.
Township, yeah.
Center Hall Colonial.
They're all colonial.
So anyway, that's that. Dry stack retaining walls. You can do
Yes,
it.
you can
It's
do it,
not
yeah.
that hard, and it is worth doing.
It is.
Now, next thing, we always talk about it. It's all about the soil.
About the soil, yes.
It's all about the soil. This is your one shot to add organic matter
That's right.
before you put any plants in, because you're not just putting in some shrubs.
Right.
Got any bushes? You're gonna put some bushes in.
Bushes in.
No.
Yeah.
You're gonna put annuals,
Annuals, yeah.
bulbs,
yeah.
perennials.
We got bulbs coming up. Yeah.
All of these things are going to go into that soil, and you can improve all of the soil
Oh, yes.
rather than just the
Just the
hole that
hole.
you dig in.
That's right.
Now, we always recommend using a
Bumper
soil
crop.
amendment. Yeah, it's bumper crop.
That's our number one.
But this time, you're going to take the entire bed and you're going to mix
Whole
it just
thing.
like you were planting a garden. And yes, I know you may not be planting anything there today, but you will be.
You will be,
and
yeah.
it's going to be harder to put in later on than if you did it now.
Now, yeah.
So you're just going to add in some organic matter. It will also improve the
Yes,
drainage
wonderful.
and the perk of your soil all the way around.
All the way.
And then when you plant each plant, shrub, tree,
You're all set to
what
go.
have you, you're ready to go. But you're still going to add. You're still going to add because it's going to be
Fertilizers.
deeper. Because you're only going to go with this when you cover all of the ground.
Sure.
Dig it in about 6 inches or so, because then that's going to cover all of the
Everything.
annuals, perennials, bulbs,
Everything.
all those extra things that you're going to put in to your landscape besides your nursery plants.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Right?
Get it ready. Yep.
That's it. You said it, bumper crop, right?
Bumper crop.
You know, you check with your local garden center, see if they have bumper crop.
And if they don't?
They don't, you can use things
Manure.
like humus, cow manure, peat moss. You're going to ask them for a compost, a good compost, and don't buy the junk that's just leaf compost.
No.
That
That doesn't work.
again, the leaf composts are it's just
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's also
Yeah.
another show. But there are better composts that you can use. You want to use something that has a little bit of manure and a little bit of peat moss. If you can get back on earthworm castings, all really good compost, not just
Yeah.
rotted stuff in a bag.
You don't want that.
Yeah, or if you have your own compost, you can.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll work. But you're going to run out because you're going to need a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
You know, so keep in mind, this is one of the only times
That's right.
you can improve your soil.
Yes, it's the best time.
That's it. All right. So
All right.
next, we're talking
Right.
about plants. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
All right.
All right. So we'll be right back after
We
this.
love it. Stay tuned for the Bloomers Garden Minute. The Garden Minute is brought to you by Bloomers in the Garden, Philadelphia Garden Radio. Find us on the radio dial or on the web at bloomers.com.
This is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden for the Garden Minute. The summertime, the flowers are blooming, the birds are singing, the garden is yielding its bounty. Yeah, but the weeds are growing and the bugs are feeding and breeding. Next year's crop of insects are laying eggs and the weeds are dropping seeds all over your lawn, landscape, and garden. Those insects plan to host a family reunion right in your yard next summer. The weeds are planning a reunion of their own if you don't control them now. Insects want multiple generation, weeds too. Taking care of today's insects and weeds means no descendants next year. Don't pass up this opportunity. Control next year's pests now. Get out to Bloomers or your local area independent garden center today for help getting those pests under control. Cancel that reunion and make your home and yard care even easier next year. This is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden for the Garden Minute, and we'll see you in the garden.
Today's Garden Minute was brought to you by Bloomers in the Garden, Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Also brought to you by BPG, the Fertilome people.
Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix with EcoPeat is the perfect ready-to-use potting mix for all your succulents. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix is a blend of sphagnum peat moss, perlite, and EcoPeat. EcoPeat is a natural wood fiber from peat bogs. When added to Fertilome peat moss, it produces a superior professional substrate with an exceptional ratio of air porosity and water holding capacity. Fertilome succulent potting mix will ensure maximum drainage with ideal water retention. It's simply the best succulent mix on the market. Ask for Fertilome by name at your local garden center. Available at Daniel's Garden Center, Sumneytown Pike, Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Gasper's Home and Garden, 316 Tanyard Road, Richboro, PA. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, folks, we are back. And, you know, Len, every week we talk about foundations of a good planting.
Yep.
Color, texture, and form.
Yep, that's right. Doesn't matter if it's a combo pot or if it's your landscape, right?
Yep.
So, color.
Oh, boy.
What's the most important thing about color?
Whew, there's plenty of it.
Well, it's the color of your house.
That's right, my color of my home.
Your color of your house.
Beige.
Your house is the canvas, and the plants are the paint.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You're a painter.
You do. You paint, and you paint with plants.
Yeah.
And you don't really paint with flowers. You paint more with foliage color.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to talk about first.
A little bit of that.
We're going to talk about that first because most of the plants we're going to talk about are foliage color. It's
right.
foliage color. For instance, like here are some things like what good colors go together, like reds, burgundies, and blues together.
Wow.
Always look
Great combination.
good. Always look good. And if you're looking for a good red or burgundy, you're going to want to use dwarf barberry, sand cherry, Japanese maples, whether it's a dwarf Japanese maple or if it's, say, a bloodgood, which is a tree form, which gets to be about a medium-sized tree, about 20 feet or so.
Yep.
Physiocarpus, which is 9 bark.
9 bark.
That's a great plant.
Beautiful.
You know what makes that plant so great is it doesn't have a lot of insect issues, and it still gets a white flower. And they actually not only do they have a burgundy, but they actually have a burgundy leaf that inside of it it's almost a little bit orange. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Lady in red. It's good.
Lady in red. Yeah, you have that one. Ooh.
And Woodgelia, all of those new Woodgelias.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. Great reds, great burgundies. And then you contrast that with a good blue. You know, and these are true blues, not a green blue. Dwarf blue spruce. Montgomery is one of the most popular. Yeah, and very blue. Very blue.
Yeah, love that one.
And then there's lots of blue junipers. Now, like for instance, first one that comes to mind is blue star juniper.
Blue star, yeah.
Good blue color.
Beautiful.
Blue owl.
Wow.
That is something they're going to get only about 2 feet. But then there's those. Don't be afraid of those old-fashioned ones that you really don't see anywhere. Like there's some Hetsai blue junipers that back in the day.
Back in the day.
Well, you'd put them in, they'd get 8 feet tall.
Wow.
I mean,
that's nice.
You know, and they'd be B&B plants.
Right.
All of the breeding, and we can't say enough about the scientists that do all of the breeding.
Right.
They have improved the varieties so that they don't get to be gigantic monsters.
Isn't that great?
It is great. It
fit
is
into
great.
your garden.
That's right. Can you think of a good blue color?
Let me think.
Blue fescue.
Blue fescue, yeah. Blue fescue, little fescues, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Tiny.
small plant.
Small, yeah.
But like we talked about, color, texture, and form. Also, besides color, it gives you good texture.
Yes, it does.
And form. Also, blue atlas cedar.
Blue atlas cedar.
Both regular,
gorgeous.
upright, or dwarf blue atlas cedars.
Yeah.
And these plants are grafted. And I want you to keep in mind that the the weeping blue atlas cedar are trained in different ways. Sometimes they're like a serpentine, where they're like an S. and they're a little bit taller, and then they hang down. And then there's others that really only, it's like they're almost making an immediate 90 degrees where they are really low. So there are different types of grafts in the way that they're trained. How about some dark greens and some good golds?
Gold.
Give me some plants, Julio.
You got Mugo pine. That's a beauty right there.
It is. Excellent plant.
Excellent plant. Yeah.
Grows to be about 4 feet tall.
Yes, about 3 or 4. Yep.
Easy. Doesn't grow fast.
No.
With a pine, when we talk about pines, the things that expand on a pine are called candles.
Candles.
You can just snip those out, and
keep them a little lower,
that's what keeps them in control.
That's good.
What else do you have?
Okay.
Good greens. Now these are all good.
These
dark
are greens.
greens.
Yeah, the Hinoki cypress. Oh, that's a beautiful plant.
Excellent.
It
And
is.
when you go to look for some of these plants, just like what we were talking about on the Blue Atlas cedars, where Hinoki cypress, there are different varieties. So there's the true Hinoki, dwarf Hinoki cypress, which doesn't get real big.
Yeah.
And there's a semi-dwarf Hinoki cypress, and the problem is you got to make sure that you know which one you're getting, because again, you buy the plants based on the size that they're going to be when they're full grown.
Right.
You could be getting one of those semi-dwarf varieties, and it actually gets to be 8 foot, versus the true dwarf, which is going to be, just grow really slow and stay
slow.
maybe about 4 feet.
4 foot, halfway.
Yep. Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep. Other good, Japanese holly. It's an okay green.
Right.
It's on the yellow side of green, so it's not a true deep green. Cephalotaxis is being replacing most taxus, the Taxus U, because they are deer resistant.
Deer resistant, yeah, they're great.
And how about blue hollies?
Oh, I love them. Oh,
Blue hollies, they say blue, but it's more of a blue-green.
Blue-green, yeah.
And they're stunning right now. The reason I'm fawning over these because we have some right now that are at the nursery, and they're just pregnant with berries. They're just, and the reason is because the nurseries are doing smart things. They're starting to do things where they're taking the varieties and they're putting a male and a female in the same pot, so that then you have it. So that
Isn't that wonderful?
It is a great thing.
Oh, wow.
It's a great thing. Then we've got, for some good golds, you have gold threads and golden barberry. There's the golden spireas, ferns, variegated liriope.
Yes.
And you want to break up the texture. So when you're putting in your foundation, there are some tips. You want to put the tallest things on the corner. Now that seems to make sense.
It does.
I am not a big fan of putting soldiers by the door. So you have sentries, like where people put like two Alberta spruces next to the door. I'm not a big fan of that. I think we can do better.
That's right.
Break up your foundation plant using perennials. And it's funny. It's Monty Don, right?
Monty, yes.
Right?
The Gardener's World.
Right. He's Big Dreams in Small Spaces on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, find it. It's really good.
Right.
He said there is no landscape that needs more than 7 different plants.
Oh, I'm with him there.
Yeah, right?
We love to
all
put
of a sudden
20,
it looks
30,
like,
right?
the nursery threw up in your front yard.
I know.
So rules of 3 do apply, by the way.
Right, Len?
That's right. And you're going to repeat themes throughout your landscape.
Yes.
And that includes not just the front, but also the sides and the back.
Yes.
You're just going to keep picking up themes. It's like, okay, I get that, where there's the blue and the burgundy together, the different textures.
Kind of contrasty,
Yeah. And again, fall is for planting.
Oh, right now.
But spring is for selection.
Yes, it is.
You get the best selection in spring, but fall is the best time to plant. And the reason that is, again, we have a shorter selling season in the fall. Too many places, which will remain nameless, but you know who you are, and you should stop putting plants at 50% off now.
Yes.
Because what you're doing is you're encouraging no one to bring in fresh plant material.
Yeah. That doesn't work.
We do things where we close stuff out, but it's not until November.
That's right.
But it is the best time to plant, and that you're never going to get a variety of plants that people are encouraged to put
That's
things
right.
on sale for 50% off.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I can get like a half dead plants.
Right. That's
Not at
good.
Bloomers,
Not a good.
but
No, not us. No.
anyway, the most important design tip is you're designing with the plant's full-grown size in mind and taking into consideration that you can shear it and maintain its size.
Right. Right. And if you're going into the garden center, make sure you're reading the tags for that to make sure that it's not going to be overgrowing in your garden.
Yep. It's a great time to plant. It's
It is.
hot today, but
but
I'll
it's
tell you
great.
what, it's not as hot as it's been, but
Yeah.
it's still a good time to plant. The
Yeah, we had
roots
a
are
nice
starting to
breeze.
grow.
Yeah,
Roots
we
are
had a nice
starting to
breeze the
grow.
other day. It's great in
Yep.
the mornings and
Things,
night.
it's a good time, and then we're going to get back to regular rains, and that's why the
Yeah.
fall is so good, is because we have 2 rainy seasons before
That's
we
right.
hit summer.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
Anyway, if you've got questions about landscape or design, just give us a call on the hotline.
There you go.
Leave us a message. You can text us,
Yeah.
and we'll be sure to answer. All right, we've got a break. We'll be right back right after this.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
Are fleas and ticks making your favorite pet's life downright miserable? Bonide Flea Beater products will make your pet's life flea and tick free. Controlling fleas and ticks is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Bonide's complete 3-step program starts with controlling fleas and ticks outdoors with granular or hose-end flea beater products. The second step is to control fleas and ticks indoors with Bonide's Flea Beater, aerosols, and ready-to-use products. And the third step is to control the fleas and ticks on your pet with Bonide's Flea Beater or Pet Ready to Use. All products are deadly on fleas and ticks. So if fleas and ticks are causing your favorite pet to scratch and itch, get Bonide Flea Beater products today and put an end to their flea and tick problems. Bonide products are family made in America. Bonide Flea Beater products can be found at these fine retailers.
Bucks Country Gardens, Doylestown, PA. Shady Brook Farms, Yardley, PA. Delray Plus True Value, New Hope, PA. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Julio, you are a rock star.
Oh, let me tell you
Congratulations.
what, man.
You know,
Go ahead.
you spoke at the Horticultural Society of South Jersey
I
just
did.
recently, right?
Yes.
Tell me about what did you speak on?
I spoke on air plants and succulents.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Did they ask you what to speak on, or did you volunteer that topic? How'd it go?
Well, way back, almost like 6 months ago, I spoke with Diane Davini, who is no longer the program director.
Right. But
Monty,
she's still involved.
she's still involved.
And
yes.
again, we're going to say this a lot.
Right.
It's the Horticultural Society of South Jersey. They're in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill.
We're going to give you information on how to contact them, but I think it's awesome.
Oh, it is
That's
awesome.
awesome. I've been around for 30 years. I've never heard that there was a Horticultural Society of South Jersey, but they are one of the oldest organizations in the area.
Yes, they've been around for 90 years.
90 years.
Yes.
It's
Can you
almost as
imagine?
old as you.
I know.
Wow. But I'll tell you what. So you talked about succulents
A little bit
and
of succulents, air plants.
very
okay?
good. Very
And
good.
you know, I said to them about the air plants, it's a great start for young little children to know because they're so easy to take care of.
That's right.
You know, they're
That's right.
great plants.
Yeah, bring this.
Doesn't need soil.
No,
It's
when
amazing.
when you go to brush your teeth, you drop it in the sink.
That's right. Are they wonderful? So,
Wow, that's great. And
Yeah.
so tell me, did you learn about their organization? What did you find out?
you know, they're this organization. They go out and they go to arboretums, right? And they go to gardens.
They have trips?
Yeah, they have trips. Okay.
Very cool.
That's where the program director comes in, and they go to all these trips locally.
Okay.
And they have
And
they go-
locally, meaning Philadelphia,
around
Delaware
this area.
Valley.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
And they go to the flower shows, and they even have they bring in their own plants
Right.
from their homes, and they have like a little table there,
Right.
and to see which one is the nicest one, and they give like rewards and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's
Now,
awesome.
now let's see. I had read a little bit, and that they said that they also have a flower show of their own in the summer.
They do, yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
That
Wow.
is. That is
Yeah.
great.
I mean, these people are like they love plants. They want to know about them. They care for them, and it's just like, oh, they're every second I spoke, they were like, oh yeah, oh wow, oh yeah. It's like, wow.
Now you
know,
were
they-
there. You had a
Uh-huh.
it was 35 people. I think you
35
said.
people were there at least. Yeah.
And that they want more membership.
Oh, they do. Yes.
They want more membership, and so many millennials are starting with gardening and
Yes.
such.
Uh-huh.
We really need to connect all of these organizations because there are hidden gems
They
all
are.
over the Delaware Valley.
Wonderful. Yes.
That there's the West Jersey Rose Society,
Uh-huh.
and then again we're like, and you said their meetings were right across on 70 or 73.
It's
was
on.
it?
It's right across from Wegmans. If you know
Okay.
where Wegmans is.
Yep, in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill. Yes.
And so it's something where it's centrally located in the
Centrally
area.
located. Yes.
It's close to the southern tips
That's right.
of South Jersey, Gloucester County,
Right.
as well as Camden County and such. So if you were in, say, I don't know about Morristown, but
Right.
Morristown, still, you could ride
Close.
up to
Yeah.
Cherry Hill.
Close.
And it's meetings once a month,
Once a month.
depending on.
Second Tuesday of the month.
Okay. And it depends on the season. So, like wintertime, they may not have as
No,
many.
I think they're from September to June, so the winter season they're not open.
Okay.
It costs $25 just to join. That's cheap.
That's nothing. That's
That's nothing.
peanuts.
Yeah.
That's peanuts.
And you get a newsletter, right? And,
Excellent.
And all the people there, you want to be there with them because they're wonderful people. Relationships, right?
That's right.
And plants, and it's just
That's right.
beautiful.
You learn from
You learn.
each other, and you learn from people that know.
That's right.
And often, I have that Thurston Howell the Third from, from Gilligan's Island in my voice, and that people think that that's what
Right.
people at the Horticultural Society are like. Is
No.
I don't know, but really where they are welcoming and they
Oh, yes.
are,
very welcoming.
it's a great organization,
Great organization,
that
yeah.
I suggest everybody get plugged in.
Yes.
Get plugged in,
Yes.
and that it's this is one that's perfect for South Jersey folks, and
Uh-huh.
it's
wonderful.
not as massive. And next week we're going to be talking to Matt Ryder about from the
Pennsylvania Horticultural.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I mean
Society.
that's the
Ah.
they do so much for the community.
They do.
But even organizations like the Horticultural Society of South Jersey, they're active in the
In
community.
the community, yes, they are.
And that's the best thing.
That is
That's
great.
the best thing. Hey, here's some information.
Mm-hmm.
www.hssj.org. You can get on their website. That'll take you to a membership application.
Yes.
Basically, you send your money in, you get in. I think.
Right.
I don't think that there's anything there.
No.
There's no test.
No test, no. Beginners are welcome.
Beginners are absolutely welcome.
Yes,
And you know what?
very much.
I'll tell you what, they
Uh-huh.
love beginners
Oh, yes, they do.
because they want to share what they have.
what they have, yes.
That's the key.
That's
and
it.
and if you wanted to call somebody, it's 856-325-7401. Okay. give them a call.
Give 'em a call.
You go on their website. They've got a Facebook page.
Right.
But I suggest
Oh, yeah.
getting involved.
Get involved, yes.
Getting involved. You know, the West Jersey Rose Society, anybody who's like loves roses,
Oh,
West
yeah.
Jersey Rose Society is a great organization.
You can have fun, folks.
Yeah.
You know, they're incredible people.
Yep.
They are.
And it's a great social thing that's not like overwhelming.
Oh, no.
Not overwhelming.
No.
So,
They even had some goodies there at the end.
all right. Well, we'll be right back right after this.
Visit Bloomer's Home and Garden Center for the best selection of summer flowering perennials anywhere. Cone flowers in colors as vast as the rainbow. Reblooming daylilies in all the best varieties. Giant hardy hibiscus with flowers that measure 12 inches across. Make sure to visit our water garden department. Fish plants and water treatments that will keep your pond beautiful and crystal clear. Thinking about a new filter, UV, or water feature? Bloomers has them all in stock. Need to replace that sterilizer bulb? Bloomers carries a wide selection to match your model UV. Fall decorations are starting to roll in. Wind chimes, flags, and more. Bloomers has been selected the best of the best garden center by South Jersey Magazine. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township today. Just 30 minutes from Philadelphia. Find more information at bloomers.com. That's bloomers.com.
Tired of pale green, weedy results from four-step lawn programs? That's because they don't do anything for the soil. The New American Lawn four-step program feeds the lawn and the soil. Magical Plus, a unique soil food that adjusts soil pH, loosens hard soil, and feeds soil microbes, is the key difference. Without the right soil conditions, you'll never enjoy a great lawn. Competitive programs simply don't match up. So feed your lawn and your soil with the New American Lawn four-step program by Jonathan Green.
Jonathan Green products can be found at these fine stores: Action Hardware, Wilmington, Delaware; Hockessin Hardware, Hockessin, Delaware; Gasper's Garden Center, Richboro, Pennsylvania.
Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, Len, we are back.
Yes, we are.
And let me say that about a month ago, one of our listeners said, oh, he texted us. It's Dave asking us a curious question, huh?
He sure did. You know, and I got it. And what was frustrating is that, you know, I should know a plant that smells like coffee. See, Dave said, he's like, I work with public utilities here in New Jersey, so I'm on many properties, private and commercial, every day. Occasionally, I'm at a location, and all I smell is coffee.
My goodness.
And I'm thinking, what plants give off coffee? And I can never figure it out. So I'm like,
trying to figure
scratching
it out.
my head. I'm like, coffee?
Coffee? What is that?
I should know this. I mean, we should sell those plants that smell like coffee, right? And then it turns out there's a euphorbia, which it's mostly a weed more than anything else. But it's, you know, it's not really going to be around here, or it might be. I doubt it. And I kept looking, and then Dave got back to me, and he said, listen, I came across it again.
Oh, boy.
And this is all in text. This is all in text.
This is
That's
all
why
in text.
Dave's not recorded. So, and I asked him, I said, and this is why it's so important when you're out there, you have questions, text us pictures.
That would be
He
great.
texted me a picture,
Did he
and because
really?
I'm thinking public utility and that it's going to be this big plant and it's wild.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. It's boxwood.
How about that, huh?
All right.
Boxwood.
Now listen. I am a Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Oh, I know you are.
I am not a Starbucks guy.
No.
Are you a Starbucks guy?
No, I'm not a Starbucks.
Now, Starbucks coffee to me is a little strong.
Yeah, it is.
A little strong, a little
strong,
bitter.
Yeah.
Brad, are you Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, boy.
Wawa.
Wawa.
Yeah, there you go.
Right,
Wawa.
right,
Yeah, we like Wawa.
So what happened is that I know that sometimes at Starbucks I'll get this coffee, and I mean it is so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sugary.
it turns out that it was boxwood.
Okay.
And boxwood most of the time have a smell like
Pee.
cat urine. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
gosh.
and he laughed. He thought that was the funniest thing.
That's great.
And so with that,
Uh-huh.
it just. There's some plants that have an odor, and the only thing that with boxwood, it's not all the time.
No.
And when it's cooler out, you never smell it. It's only when it's real hot. So
humid.
Summer into early fall.
Right.
But still, I tell you, it's some one man's coffee is another person's kitty litter.
That's right.
And I've got 2 cats, so now
Right.
when I have to change the litter box, I'm going to
box.
think it doesn't smell like cat urine. It smells like
okay.
boxwood. So I'm going to change that up.
Boy.
Don't change that up.
Yeah, we got to change it.
But I'll tell you what, it was awesome that Dave was able to send us the pictures.
That's right.
And again, this is a conversation that we've had over a month or so.
Isn't
So
it funny?
That was great.
And you're trying to figure out what it is. and
Oh
all that?
yeah, I'm like, I'm going over the top, trying really
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
All of a
going
sudden, the old picture trick worked.
Yeah, yeah. But that scent on those boxwood, that's what keeps deer away from them.
Look at that.
So those
There's
of
a
you that
reason.
have struggled with deer issues, try some boxwood.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we like that.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. So that's another benefit
Yeah,
of
that's wonderful.
boxwood.
Yeah, we love boxwood.
So Dave, thank you. Hey, your T-shirt
Dave.
is coming.
It
You and I are about the same size. I'm going to see if I've got a new T-shirt that I've been hoarding for myself. So I'll get it out there to you.
There you go, folks.
All right. We'll be right back right after this.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
Bloomers in the Garden is an hour-long gardening radio program that airs to over 6 million residents throughout the Delaware Valley. From Allentown to Wilmington, from the Main Line to the Jersey Shore, Bloomers in the Garden can be heard twice each Saturday morning, first at 8 a.m. on 860 WWDB, and again at 9 on 610 a.m. ESPN Radio. Each episode of Bloomers in the Garden will be broadcast on Bloomers' Facebook page and available as a podcast on bloomersinthegarden.com. Bloomers in the Garden is adding sponsors. Share your message to our large, diverse group of listeners. Commercials and segment sponsorships are available at incredibly affordable prices. Let Bloomers in the Garden get your message out to one of the largest and most diverse populations in the country. If you're interested in joining us in the garden, please visit bloomersinthegarden.com or email len@bloomers.com. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Well, Julio, we were definitely schooled again today.
A lot.
That whole landscape, doing your own landscape, everybody out there, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it.
Yes.
You need to rely on your local garden center. Listen, I'm going to say it. Your box stores are going to give you what are the impulse items, the product of the month that they happen to have. You know, I have a list of some plants here that, again, flowering plants are accents that you add to your foundation plant. And if you want color for like late winter, early spring, we're talking about there's some viburnum, camellia, and witch hazel. Early spring varieties, there's PJMs, Caria forsythia, viburnum. Mid-spring, April through May, there's azaleas and sand cherry and quince. Don't forget quince. Quince is a beautiful plant.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
New varieties. The Storm series of quince are just outstanding. Rhododendrons, deutzia, lilac, late spring. That's when you're getting your mop hydrangeas and, of course, knockout roses. And don't overdo it with the knockout roses. They are going to be nice, and they're a great plant. But too many people are just relying too heavily on knockout roses, I think.
Yeah, don't forget the
so
rest
many
of them.
other better plants.
Wonderful.
Potentilla, St. John's wort, Abelia, and then in summer you've got Buddleia and Spirea and the panicle hydrangeas.
Oh, yes. Wonderful.
You aren't going to get those at Home Depot.
No, you're not.
Go to your local garden center, your local independent garden center, and they will put together a beautiful landscape, and they'll give you guidance. They'll give you guidance.
Sure.
All right. Quick, next week, excited about we have got a special guest. It's going to be a great interview.
It is, yeah.
Who's coming?
Matt Rader's coming, huh? The president of the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society will be with us.
That's right. The PHS does so much more than just the flower show.
Yeah,
Pop-up gardens, routes to reentry. Wait till you hear all of the fantastic things this organization does.
So make sure you call or text a hotline, all right? And text us. Okay?
Yep, text those pictures.
Yes.
Brett, thank you.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Brett. And we're going to see you next week right here in the garden.
See you in the garden.
Hey, Alzheimer's organization. Sign up for a walk to end Alzheimer's. They're starting at the end of the month. Go there and sign up. You're going to have a great time.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease is out there. They might even be listening to this right now. Maybe they're waiting for the traffic light to change. Maybe they're daydreaming about a trip they've planned with their family. Maybe they're in a toddler seat, strapped in, and wondering if they're almost home. That first survivor is out there, and they're going to hold on to everything the disease steals away. And the Alzheimer's Association